Hi guys, welcome to Chemistry Bite, myself Mubarak. So in the last lecture we have discussed about the Birch reagent, that is the sodium when you're dissolving in the ammonia, how it will reduce an aromatic compounds into the cyclohexadiene. So along with that we also discussed about the regioselectivity of the Birch reagent on the substituted aromatic compound. Suppose if you're having an electron withdrawing group, uh, after reacting the electron withdrawing group with the Birch reagent, so you will get a cyclohexadiene in such a manner that the electron withdrawing group will be attached to the saturated carbon atom, that is an sp3 carbon atom. So in case of if you're having an electron releasing group on an aromatic ring, when you're reacting that type of compound with Birch reagent, so you will get a cyclohexadiene in such a manner that the electron releasing group will be attached to the unsaturated carbon atom, that is an sp2 carbon atom. For example, you can see here in this example I am reacting the anisole with the Birch reagent, so you are getting the cyclohexadiene, this methoxy group. So methoxy group is an electron releasing group, and this electron releasing group is attached to the sp2 carbon atom. So if you want a conjugated diene as a product, it is quite simpler matter to isomerize them using the acid catalyst. So when you're reacting the unconjugated product, so with an acid, so when after you're getting the unconjugated product, if you're adding the acid, it will get isomerized to the conjugated product. In fact, a small amount of about 20% of the conjugated product is produced anyway in the reaction. Anyway, after along with unconjugated products, you will get the 20% of conjugated product along with the reaction. In case of anilines, it is impossible to stop the isomerization taking place during the reaction and always gives a conjugated enamines. So reason for this is this amines reactivity. So amines are very strong electron releasing group. Because of this reaction will not stop at unconjugated stage as a 1,4-diene stage. So instead of this you will get then 1,3-dienes as a conjugated system. So Birch reduction even works with the alkynes too, and it's a good way to reduce them to the trans double bond. Okay, the best way to reduce them to the cis alkene is via the hydrogen in presence of the Lindlar catalyst. So when you're reacting an alkyne with the sodium in presence of ammonia, so here we no need of any proton source like the external proton source like the ethyl alcohol. So ammonia is itself the good proton source which can easily donate the proton to the alkyne to convert into the E alkene. Suppose if you want to convert into the Z alkene or the cis alkene, so what you have to do, here you have to use the reagent like hydrogen in presence of the Lindlar catalyst. The mechanism, you can see the first step is this electron was donated by the sodium, so this electron will get accepted by the alkane. So before accepting the electron, you can see here the pi bond will participate in the homolysis, and so each carbon atom will get one unpaired electron. So any one of the carbon atom will accept the unpaired electron and convert into the negative charge. So you can see here the negative charged carbon atom, and you are having one carbon atom with the free radical. So this piece, what you will call it as a radical anion. It's a highly reactive, so this radical anion will accept a proton from the ammonia. Okay, so ammonia will give the proton and comes out in the form of the NH2, and you can see one here one free radical was generated. So this free radical will accept the another electron from the sodium metal and convert into the vinyl anion. So this vinyl anion is geometrically stable in E isomer. So E isomer of the vinyl radical is more stable than the Z isomer. So after formation of the vinyl anion, so this vinyl anion will accept the another proton from the ammonia molecules, and you will get the trans alkene. So number of sodium atoms used here is 2. So 2 sodium atoms we have used, and how many ammonia molecules we have used here? 2 ammonia molecules. So total along the byproduct is you will get the 2 moles of sodamide. So total number of electrons we have added is the 2 electrons we have added. So both the electrons we have added to the alkyne in the trans pattern. So instead of using the Birch reagent on an alkyne, so if you adding the hydrogen in presence of the Lindlar catalyst, you will get the Z isomer. So Birch reagent even will react with the conjugated system, so it will not react with the isolated system. Guys, it will not react with the isolated double bonds. It will react with only with the conjugated double bond. So you can see here. So what is the isolated double bond? The double bond which is free, which is not with conjugated with any other double bond. So if in molecule, if you're having any isolated double bond, so this double bond cannot get reduced with the Birch reagent. Suppose if you're having the conjugated double bond like this, here you can see these two double bonds are conjugated. So between the two pi bonds, you are having the sigma bond. So to this, if I am adding the Birch reagent, the sodium in presence of the ammonia, so what will happen? So here you will get N1,4 dihydroderivatives. That means on the first carbon as well as on the fourth carbon, you have to add the hydrogen atom, and between 2 and 3 carbon, so between carbon you will get the new double bond. So diene we have converted into the ene. For example, in this molecule you can see this is also the conjugated system. So where you can see pi, sigma and pi. So these two double bonds will get reduced with the Birch reagent, that is sodium in presence of ammonia. Okay, so here what happened? The first carbon we have to add the hydrogen, as well as on the fourth carbon you have to hydrogen. Okay, the between carbon it will convert into the double bond. So you will get an alkene like this. Suppose if you are having the conjugated double bond as well as the isolated double bond in the molecule, so in that molecule only the conjugated double bond will get reduced, whereas the isolated double bond will not get reduced. The Birch reagent even can reduce the alpha beta unsaturated ketones. So what is meant by alpha beta unsaturated ketones? So in this molecule you can see this is the functional group called the ketones. C double bond O. The carbon which is attached to the ketone, will call it as the alpha carbon, and the adjacent carbon is the beta carbon. So between alpha and the beta you are having the unsaturation. That is why the reason we are calling it as an alpha beta unsaturated ketone. So when you are reacting this with lithium in presence of the ammonia, okay, so here we are using the proton source. So what will happen here? This double bond will get reduced. So you can see here this double bond will get reduced. How to reduce it? So simple, from the ethyl alcohol, one hydrogen on one alpha carbon, another hydrogen on the beta carbon. If you add this alpha beta unsaturated ketone will get reduced to the ketone. So this C double bond C will get reduced. So when we are using the proton source, see here we have used the proton source, the two hydrogen whatever you have added, so it was donated by the proton source like the ethyl alcohol. So coming to the mechanism of the reaction, the first step of the reaction is the alpha beta unsaturated ketones will accept the electron from the sodium metal to form the radical anion. So you can see between carbon and the oxygen, the pi bond will participate in the homolysis, and oxygen will get one electron, and this carbonyl carbon will get one electron. So the same time the pi electron, the alpha beta pi bond will again participate in homolysis. Alpha carbon will get one electron, and the beta carbon will get one electron. So now oxygen with the one radical will accept the electron from the sodium and convert into the anion, as well as the carbonyl carbon and the alpha carbon. So there is the formation of the new double bond, and on the beta carbon one free radical was generated. So now this radical anion will accept the proton from the ethyl alcohols and convert into the free radical. So because of formation of the free radicals, so free radicals are highly reactive. It accepts the another electron from the sodium metal, and you can see here it will convert into the anion. So now what happens? This hydrogen, so which was donated by the ethyl alcohol on the oxygen, so it will transfer to the carbanion, and you can see the formation of the enolate ion. So along with O minus you will have the Li plus ion. The next step is this enolate ion, so will accept the proton from the proton source like the ethyl alcohol. So if that accepted, you will get the enol, and there is the keto enol tautomerism, and it will convert into the ketone. So instead of reacting this enolate ion with the second molecules of the proton source, if you are reacting with the alkyl iodide, so what happens? This alkyl iodide it produces the alkyl carbocation, so it produces a new electrophile. This in enolate ion, the pi bond will polarize towards the alpha carbon atom, and this alpha carbon atom will get the negative charge, and this carbonyl carbon will get the positive charge. So you can see here this carbonyl carbon and oxygen, so you got the new double bond, and this carbon ion had attacked on the R plus, and you can see on alpha carbon we have done the alkylation. So here you can see the where alkylation will happen. So alkylation will happen on the more hindered side. So where there is a more substituent on that carbon, alkylation will happen. So where there is a less steric hindrance, there is no alkylation. So when you are reacting the Birch reagent with alpha beta unsaturated ketone, if you are using only 1 mole of ethyl alcohol, so if you are using 1 mole of ethyl alcohol, that means lithium, ammonia and ethyl alcohol, so what you will get? So you will get the product called the ketone. So you will get the ketone. Suppose along with ethyl alcohol, so if you are using any external electrophiles like the alkyl iodide. So here what happens, alpha alkylation. So alkylation will happen on the alpha position. So in this example, you can see I have took a cyclic alpha beta unsaturated ketone, where on the alpha carbon you are having the methyl groups. When I am reacting this with the Birch reagent, so you will get only one regio isomers like this. So it's a lithium enolate. So this lithium enolate, when it reacts with the methyl iodides, so this methyl iodide will produce the CH3 plus ion. So what will happen here? Very simple. So this pi bond will polarize here, and you will get the negative charge on the alpha carbon, and you will get the positive charge on the carbonyl carbon. The negative charge carbon will take the methyl CH3. So now we can see this 2-methyl is the product. So its name is 1,2,2-dimethyl cyclohexanone is the major product. For example, if you are reacting the cyclohexanones, alpha beta unsaturated compound like this, where you can say methyl is on the beta carbon atom. So here this methyl is on the plane, it is on the plane. So when I am reacting this with the Birch reagent, so first I will get the enolate like this. The second, I am reacting with the allyl bromide. So this allyl bromide, so where it reacts, so the position of the allyl bromide and the position of the methyl, so both should be opposite stereochemistry. So reason is due to the steric hindrance. So you can see here this allyl group, so where it is attached on the alpha carbon atom, so it is down, and this methyl group, so where it is attached on the beta carbon atom, so it is the up. Clear? So remember, very important. So after doing the alkylation, suppose if you are having an alkyl group on the beta carbon and you are doing the alkylation on the alpha carbon, so the alkyl group which present on the alpha carbon and beta carbon both should have the opposite stereochemistry. That means you will get the racemic mixtures here. So this even can be written like this. So if you are rotating the molecule around this axis 180 degrees, what happens, that allyl which is present below the plane, it will come above the plane, and the methyl which is present above the plane, so it will become below the plane. So here what you will get, so you will get an enantiomers. For example, here, so here you can see this questions. Okay, so about this question I am going to discuss in the next class when I am reacting a paramethyl anisole with the Birch reagent. So further I am doing the ozonolysis. On ozonolysis, how to convert into this product we will discuss in the next class. In next class, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss about the CSIR net questions related to the Birch reagent. So in brief, when we are discussing about the Birch reduction, you can see here, so Birch reagent can reduce an aromatic compounds. Birch reagent can reduce an aromatic compounds into cyclohexadiens, and if on aromatic compound, you can see if you are having the electron withdrawing group, so what you will get the product like this. So where the electron withdrawing group was attached to the unsaturated carbon atom. Suppose on benzene, if you are having the electron releasing group, in case of electron releasing group, what you will get, so you will get the product like electron releasing group was attached to the unsaturated carbon atom. So Birch reagent can reduce an alkyne into an alkene. Suppose if you are having the alkyne like CH3, C triple bond C CH3, so it reduces into the trans alkene. So you can see you will get a trans alkene. So Birch reagent even can reduce the conjugated system into its unconjugated system. You will get an alkene. So Birch reagent can reduce an alpha beta unsaturated ketones into a simple ketones. So suppose if you are using any alkylation, what will happen? So alpha alkylation will happen here. So here alpha alkyl group and the beta alkyl group will have the opposite stereochemistry. This is about the Birch reagents. In the next class, the questions related to the CS